So today we're going to discuss, the Freemason or Masonic lodges and its correlation with Christianity and the role or impact that it has in today's society. We discussed this, on numerous occasions, but a lot of things are brought to my attention, whether it's through, dreams or visions, or even just you being just shown certain things, because the other day I was going to sleep. I was taking a little nap, and I had YouTube on, and then they was discussing the Target boycotts and I guess the DEI, whatever it is that has been in the media, or that a lot of people been discussing, especially in the black community. And it was Roland Martin, and as he was speaking, I said, son, this doesn't sound genuine. It doesn't sound right. It sounds like they're trying to encourage people to protest, and it is to cause confusion. And I said, man, this doesn't this doesn't sound right. This doesn't sound like this is a righteous act. It seems like it's a staged act to cause some sort of miscommunication or disruption inside society. So I don't really know too much about Roland Martin, but I said that he sounded like a Freemason, and anybody that has these certain platforms with a certain level of success on these platforms, they're either affiliated with Freemasons in some sort or some sense. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Come on. Because I got cookies up here, and dog, he. This is another thing. Somebody was saying that they was trying to discredit the Bible. And the Bible is a means of giving you wisdom in a certain form. So they was trying to discredit certain aspects of the Bible. When they was talking about Eve in the garden and the serpent, and they used Humpty Dumpty in a reference. I believe it was a Jamaican guy, and I stumbled across that yesterday. And you have to understand something. I have a cat. You already know, dog. If you've been paying attention or watching anything that I put out, you'll see dog make a appearance here and there. But dog has food. He has a lot of food and he eats good. But every so often I can catch him somewhere and he chew on stuff that he's not supposed to be chewing on, and these things could be hazardous to his health. And you can relate that to, if I give you food and this is all the food you need, and if this isn't food that I prepare for you, you shouldn't eat that. So that is reflective to the story of Adam and Eve, where Eve chose to eat something that they wasn't prescribed to eat. It wasn't prescribed for you to eat, and it was through deception that, or not just deception, but deception was at play. Then it was also envy, wanting something that you didn't have, you didn't need, because you are made in the image of God. So you were like God anyway. You understand? So you was deceived to believe that you were not like God. Even though you were made in the image of God, man and both woman. So I wanted to, just shed light on that because, every so often I catch dog, just and his food is nowhere around, so he's eating something that he has no business eating, and that can actually, kill him. If it's something that's toxic for him to eat, and you eat it, out of curiosity, that's why they say, curiosity kills the cat, and you can become sick just by eating something you don't have that's not prescribed for you to eat. He has all sorts of snacks, all sorts of food, but that's just getting off the subject. But cats can't eat sweets, and because they don't have a sweet tooth, they don't have the sweet sense for sweets, and they can't eat certain things. So you have to be mindful of what they can and what they can't eat because a lot of things are toxic to them. Like salt. Salt is kind of like toxic for cats. And, that's just off subject. But anybody with a huge platform is, associated in some form with it. So I went to go and check out, who is Roland Martin, and because it appears that he's a journalist, and journalists are news reporters, so they report the news to the people, and when they report the news to the people, it's to either give a certain sensationalism or get a certain reaction or to prompt you to act. Like I said, this is where riots come from and rallies come from, strikes come from, boycotts come from, but it's all and it's all part of an instruction, a psychological instruction for, the onlooking masses, or maybe just the people itself, and that's one of the things that, I end up checking out, so I went to go type it in, Roland Martin, Freemason. Yes, Roland S. Martin is a 32nd degree Prince Hall Mason. He was initiated into the fraternity on September 7th, 2019 in Washington, D.C. Roland Martin is a member of the Prince Hall Masonic Lodge and a fraternal organization for black Freemasons. He achieved the rank of 32nd degree, which is a higher level within the Prince Hall Masonic system. He became a third, this is what you would actually see. I don't want to go there, but we can pull up an image of him in his lodge. This is I don't want to go there, but this is him right here. With his regalia or his people with them. But you have to understand, that our media and our social networks, and these are all set up by Freemasons, and you'll see here, I talk about the Target boycotts, and you'll have Jasmine Crockett, a lot of Jasmine Crockett, because this is all, a stage thing, and that's one of the things that you'll see in signs and symbolism, So that goes back to Jews require a sign, and Greeks require wisdom, or they seek wisdom. So what if the Jews is just a cult that requires a sign, and symbolism, regardless of you believe that it's a people that require signs of wonders, but what if they just require a certain sign or a certain symbol, like the hush sign, the finger pointing sign, the close one eye sign. They require a certain sign so for you to show your allegiance, to show that you're a part of who they actually are. And you'll see that when it comes to Roland S. Martin, he has a lot of things that's going on in the media. There's the y'all already know you see it a lot on our social platforms, whether it's YouTube, wherever it's at. You will see it a lot. You will see certain signs that they have to show you. So they require a certain sign. You have your Jasmine Crockett's, you'll have your Elon Musk, you'll have your Trumps, you'll have your Kamala Harris's, you'll have your Obamas. They're all the same exact thing. So it doesn't matter what side the people are on, they are all in the same exact thing. Then they have people that that protest and are set up to protest, and these are organized protests. Organized protests. It's not genuinely the people with an interest in bringing forth change. These are staged events that brings forth the change that they want. The change that they want. You see, it's Sharpton. And it has to be shown. It has to be shown that this is a part of the agenda. This is basically what this means, the agenda. That's what it means if you really want to be technical, but that's what that sign means, the agenda. A part of the agenda. My allegiance to the agenda. That's what it means. And you would see here, just that picture alone, just that picture alone. Then he has a shirt that says, "Where's our money? Where's our money?" This is 2.3 million views. Do you know how much currency that generates for you? But for people that are in lack and might feel as though they're disenfranchised, or they might be excluded from certain things, this would create strong emotions. This is why I say black economic boycotts must be driven by strategy, not by emotions. This is a master class. I guess it's a master class. But it's actually to stir up emotions. These things want to stir up emotions. As you can see, there's always these disgruntled looking people. And you understand, it's not genuine. Basically, that's what I'm stating. This is not genuine. So the corporations bow to bigotry, strategy behind a target boycott after they played in our face, to trigger you to get upset. The target is playing with us. There's more important things going on in the world than target playing in your face. If you look around at the world and all the chaos and destruction and all of the just the unfairness going on in the world, we want to zero in and focus on certain department stores, and that's just that's a blow in the face. That's playing in your face. These people are playing in your face, just by them being Freemasons with an agenda to cause disruption amongst people, to sow discord amongst brethren, to pit this people against that people, just to have an ongoing just separatism, without there being any kind of signs that says white only, blacks only, Republicans only, Democrats only. It doesn't have to have a sign. It's simply just a cause of division. It simply is just that. And it has a source. And your people that look exactly like you have been a part of this and responsible for causing division since the beginning of the vision. They have been a part of it. So we would think that it's a white thing, it's a black thing. No, it's a cult thing. So what I say is that, one of the Jews is actually just a cult, and people don't understand that because they're not in that cult, or that's just a code name for them. But then they have a people dressed in a costume as those people, you know. So these are things that you have to be aware of. Is this a cult that requires a sign and a symbol? Is it a cult? Because here, you would see this little video that I put together, this little this side thing that I put together, where, they require, where they all have, the sign, and, they show that sign. Doesn't matter whether you're a Christian, doesn't matter if you're a politician, doesn't matter if you're just a online YouTube sensationalist, or it doesn't matter if you're just some hooded guy, it doesn't matter if you're some white guy, it doesn't matter who you are. You live in Seinfeld, my favorite show, but you know that it's associated. It doesn't matter if you're a black woman, doesn't matter if you're another black woman, it doesn't matter who you are. But what if it's just somebody that has to show a certain sign and a symbol, to show their allegiance? And these are the people that you don't even understand is behind all the destruction and corruption in the world, all the greed, all the pillaging and looting and taking of all the resources in the world. And unless you're associated with that cult, then you'll be left out of it. What if it's a mind game that's being played on the multitudes of people? What if it's just a mind game? And unless you're inside of it, you won't be included inside the game that's being played on the people. What if it's that? So we have to be aware and see with eyes that want to see, as opposed to having a heart that wants to be included or associated with certain things. What if it's, just a cult of people, that require a sign, to show your allegiance? What if it's that? Because when I see people doing the sign, it don't matter who it is. I recently started seeing people that, like I said, they give you, a lot of knowledge and wisdom, and then, when they show their pictures, I have to show that sign to show my allegiance. So whenever I see people like that, I completely just, I shun them, because they are followers. It's copycats. These are copycats, and it's monkey see, monkey doism. For me, these aren't genuine people. Anybody that has to join something to be a part of something, and to reap the benefits or reward of something, these are people that are soulless and lifeless beings. So now that we discussed that, I just wanted to get back to the topic at hand, because there's the Christian church that allows their people to be led or misled by Freemasonry, and Freemasonry doesn't have any kind of dealings with the church itself, but you will have a lot of their members being led by pastors and preachers that are Freemasons, that are these particular people, which you have a worshipful master, which is completely contradictory to you being a Christian. You can have no other God except for God. So if you have a worshipful master alone, this title alone allows you to know that this isn't something that I should be involved with, or that I should be dealing with. But we do have these people posing as Christians, especially online, whether they televangelists, YouTube evangelists, whatever kind of evangelist they are, they require a sign. And we just seen just one of their signs, but there's many of signs that they use, from the thumb to, the winking of the eye, to the feet, the pointing of the feet, to the pointing of the finger, it doesn't matter, and biblically it states that, those are some of the people that God despised. So you have to understand that Freemasonry been around since the beginning of the Bible, since the beginning of Christianity. So I'm pretty much sure Christianity knows about the Freemasons. I'm pretty much sure. So this isn't to say that people shouldn't be Freemasons, but be 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 clear about your intentions. Don't be deceptive about your intentions. Be clear. Let it be known. When Whoopi Goldberg came out one day and she had a Masonic vest on, she had to apologize for wearing that. But why would you have to apologize for wearing it if everybody's a Freemason or associated with Freemasonry? If everybody is, why would you have to come out and publicly apologize for wearing, this thing and you forgot that you had it on? Let me see if we can go back and get this. What was it, like a little sweater? Yeah, on The View. The sweater could also be a statement. Whoopi is a strong supporter of the LGBTQ rights, and since women are not allowed to join mainstream, she was wearing it in honor of her deceased brother. She was given permission to do so by his lodge 4 years ago. Apologized. Whoopi Goldberg apologized for wearing a Prince Hall Masonic sweater. She had to apologize. She apologized for doing so. But she's saying that they tried to say that women can't be Freemasons. Maybe not Prince Hall, but the Eastern Stars. But it's in the media. It's heavy in the media, heavy in the politics, heavy in the police department, fire department, whatever kind of big or prominent organizations you might have, they are actually all incorporated in there. You won't escape, dealing with it. You will not, But it's a pretty nice sweater, pretty nice sweater, And yeah, this did happen. Whoopi Goldberg did wear a Masonic sweater online. She shouldn't have said anything. She should have said, this is what it is. What it is. It was cold. It was chilly. What's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with Freemasonry, is it? Unless there's something wrong with it, shouldn't have to apologize for it. Because the founding fathers of America, some of them, that's known, were that. Whether it's George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, it doesn't matter. They were, associated with that. But here's a little article, and I have other articles that would go into, Freemasonry. But even before we get into that, you want to read the Proverbs 6, which is, if you understand what, God is saying, what the words are saying here, they're telling you that do not pledge to anything, do not put up security for your neighbors. So putting up security for your neighbors is giving dues for security reasons, for purposes, to secure your position in this fraternity. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, if you have struck hands in pledge with a stranger, if you have been trapped by words of your lips, if you took an oath, you've been trapped by an oath, by words of your lips, ensnared by the words of your mouth. You fell into the traps by the words of your mouth. Then do this, my son, to free yourself, for you have fallen into your neighbor's hands. Go humble yourself and press your plea with your neighbors. Like, humble yourself, press your plea with your neighbor. Yo, let me get out of this. I'm pleading with y'all. I don't want no parts of this. This is what you do to free yourself. That's what you do to free yourself. You get from out of it. And also allow no sleep to your eyes or slumber to your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hands of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. Walk in the manner of the ant, O slacker. Observe its ways and become wise. Without a commander, without an overseer or a ruler. It prepares its provisions in summer. It gathers its food at harvest. How long will you lie there, O slacker? When will you get up from your sleep? A little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber, and need like a bandit. A worthless person, a wicked man, walks with a perverse mouth, winking with his eyes, speaking with his feet. You gotta speak with your feet, and pointing with his finger. With the deceit in his heart he devises evil, and continuously sows discord. Therefore calamity will come upon you suddenly. In an instant he will be shattered beyond recovery. So here you have, with deceit in his heart he devises evil, and continually sows discord. If you don't see, amongst, these two particular parties, whether it's a Republic or a Democrat, they devise evil, and they continuously sow discord. Since the beginning of Trump administration, the first thing he did was sow discord. Separate people, separate families, send attacks on immigrants, and attack people's finances, went to certain jobs and destroyed their jobs. They just continuously sowed discord, because they had devised evil, because it was in their hearts to do so. These things are scripted, and it's organized crime. These are criminal acts that if you don't understand them, then you simply won't see that they are criminal in origin, because you had this rapper, Young Thug, that openly professed that, son, I'm a Freemason. I beat all of my cases. After you seen that he beat a case, and not even beat a case, but was found guilty of a certain charge, there was no Masons that come and strip him or publicly stripped him of his membership, because they, bad company. Bad company corrupts good character. So if it was bad company, you being a part of us, you can corrupt our character. So we have to publicly allow you to know that you can't be associated with this. Not no more, because we're good people. You, on the other hand, you've been sowing all sorts of discord because your heart devised evil. You shot up people's barbershop. You try to kill people's fathers. You've been a part of this crime ring since, XYZ. What did y'all call yourself? YSL? Hey, we have no association with that. You get out of our fraternity. You're no longer, I don't care what you give. We don't want you no more. But there's none of that ever. But when it comes to Bill Cosby and people like that, which is still associated with this particular organization, they get their honorary degrees, or their Puffy get the keys of the city snatched from them. People get the keys of certain things snatched from them just by having certain allegations against them, because it'll make them look bad. So there you have, 6 things. Here you have 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that run swiftly to evil, a false witness who gives false testimony, and one who stirs up discord amongst brethren. See, these are 6 things, and 7 that are detestable, and here you have it, lying tongues. Why you can't come out and say what it is that you want? We want disruption so we could bring forth, order. We want, war, and these wars that are fought is never the people that's going to war. It's always innocent bloodshed, and it's always innocent bloodshed in wars that have nothing to do with these conflicting countries. So this is one thing that, they are responsible for, shedding innocent blood. On a daily basis, there's innocent blood being shed because there's a broadcast of straight death and destruction. Heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that run swiftly to evil. Feet that run swiftly to evil. Something evil come, what is going on with it? Ooh, I want to see what it is. You quickly run to evil. Soon as you see evil, you run to it. You don't flee from it. You run to evil. So, and false witnesses who give false testimonies. So when you have people that's false witnesses of, the word of God, and then they give false testimonies, then, these are certain things that, God hates. Slanderers who false witness, that gives false testimony, people that lie on you and give false testimony about you, and one who stirs up discord amongst brethren, one who sows discord amongst brethren. So these are, 6 things that God's hate, and 7 that are detestable, and you'll see haughty eyes, and a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood. So, here's an AI overview, AI overview. Let AI tell you, the incompatibility of Christianity and Freemasonry. So a lot of Christians believe that they can be Freemasons, or a lot of Freemasons may come underneath the guise of Christianity to mislead, Christians, because that's the whole objective. The whole objective is to, ensnare and mislead Christians, because don't forget, the God of this world is to block the unbeliever from the true light or the gospel of Christ. This is what the God of this world is set out to do. And who becomes the God of the world? The one with all the resources, who can pull strings and do the things that God can do in heaven, but here on earth, because it'll prevent God's will from being manifest here on earth by there being a God of this earth that can pull strings and manipulate people, and could, give people things, and they could give you certain kingdoms, and it's not the kingdom of God, but it's another kingdom, So you would have, Christians believe that they can be in the Freemasons, or they can be taught by Freemasons. So there you have it. When we go back to where's this guy, the Roland Martin, he's talking to a pastor, and you see the pastor, and the pastor giving input. So there's a people that's under that pastor's stewardship. He's actually stewarding certain people, and by him having input on certain issues, this would only influence his flock, that these are interests that I should be involved in as well. But again, I've told you that if you resist the devil will flee. So as we start to give our attention to certain things, this is only making the wicked more accessible to our mind and our thoughts and our ideas, and that can influence them, and that can lead us astray or lead us away from the true light of God, or the true light that is within you in particular. as opposed to you shedding your light is being dimmed by, darkness and deceit, right? So while Freemasons and Christianity can coexist, some Christians believe they are incompatible due to perceived conflicts in beliefs, practices, and the emphasis on secrecy within Freemasonry. Again, anybody righteous cannot take an oath or no kind of oath of silence and secrecy. In fact, you can't even swear an oath. You have to let your yes be your yes and your no's be no's. This is a decree of Jesus Christ stated that, so if you're a Christian, you can only adhere to the teachings of Christ, not the teachings of any kind of, fraternity, or no fraternal order, or no sorority, or no order of a sisterhood. You have to come up out of these things. These are things that you have to come out of. If not, then, you're damned. And that's just what it is. Who cares about the gifts and the benefits of being a part of it? Sometimes you have to, accept, the ways of Christ and reject the devil. Resist the devil and the devil flee. Be tempted by the devil. You can be tempted. Everybody has the ability to be tempted, but, God will always provide a way for you to escape. So, arguments for incompatibility is the secrecy. Some Christians view secrecy inherent in Freemasonry as antithetical to the Christian emphasis on open fellowship and transparency. Open fellowship and transparency. There's no transparency in, our media and the news reporters. There's no transparency. This is why, you're boycotting the wrong thing. If you really want to change and you really wanted to make a statement in the world, you would actually boycott the media. We don't want no more bad news. Don't relay no more bad news to us. We don't want to see it. The more we see it, the more there will be it. Because if you keep showing it to us and it keeps getting these ratings, guess what? You're going to keep providing it for us. So we don't want no more of that. No, don't show us no more. Matter of fact, we're not even watching your news channels no more. All your ratings is going down from this point on. No more news for everybody. If you black, if you want righteousness, don't watch no more news. Now you're a threat to their whole operation, because this is what they use to influence the people, the media, the news. The news. And if you do see any kind of bad news, at least let it have some sort of moral input with it. Like, our news reporters don't have no care or no concern about the news that they're relaying to you. They don't give you no input. These are soulless, lifeless beings. They do not care at all about all the deaths and destruction in the communities that they report in. They don't care. This is their paycheck. Why should I care? Why would I want to bite the hand that feeds me? This death and this destruction is feeding me. Why would I want to stop this? So these are things that, we have to be mindful of. Like, the media doesn't care about nobody or nothing. If they did, they wouldn't be so chipper every week. They're chipper and happy and, So fellowship and transparency, So this is with fellowship with any and everybody. You fellowship with your fellow, members of your society, and being transparent, not holding any kind of secret, schemes against them. So remember, a heart that devises wicked schemes. So if your wicked schemes is to create confusion, disruption, corruption, destruction, then that is a wicked heart. And that's some of the things, that's amongst the things that is detestable, to the righteousness of God. Philosophical differences. Some Christians believe that Freemasonry promotes pagan or occult texts and doctrines which clash with Christians' belief, which they actually do. It's idolatry, it's idol worship. when you have to worship a master, and you have to have a worshipful master or a master mason. You can't serve two masters. You can't have a master called God. You can't have a master called Christ and have a worshipful master or a master mason. You can't. You can't. So these are reasons why you have to come up out of her. Some Christians point out that Freemasonry omits the name of Jesus when using biblical texts in their rituals, which they see as a denial of the central figure of Christianity. Universalism. Freemasonry purported focus on the essence of all religions rather than a specific faith is seen as a form of universalism, which some Christians reject as a dilution of the Christian faith. So this is, all inclusive. You're including any and all things inside of the Christian faith, which doesn't fit well with Christianity. The Catholic Church's position. The Catholic Church has historically condemned Freemasonry, viewing its philosophical ideas as moral conceptions as opposed to Catholic doctrine, and imposing penalties of excommunication for Catholics who become Freemasons. But when you look at the Catholic Vatican, and you would see that they have dozens and dozens of pagan or just Egyptian statues in the Vatican alone. So these are contradictory to them saying that they condemn Freemasonry. Maybe openly they may say that, but they still have some sort of connection and ties with the Freemasonry. Like I said, Freemasons in any and everything. They get to, once you get to the leaders, now you have them inside the bloodstream of it. Maybe not all Catholics know that, but the hierarchies of it know it. The hierarchies of these churches, these Christian churches, know it. Know that they are associated with these, with Freemasonry. An allegiance to a higher power. Some Christians argue that Freemasonry requires to believe in a supreme being without specifying the Christian God. Is seen as a compromise of Christian faith. So this is, some of the arguments for incompatibility, but then you also have arguments for compatibility. They believe in a higher power. Freemasons does believe in a supreme being, which some Christians see as a positive shared ground. Like, okay, we can agree to agree, on a certain shared ground. You believe in God? I believe in God. Charitable works. Freemason often emphasizes charitable works and community involvement, which some Christians see as compatible with their own values. Okay, y'all being charitable in the communities, then cool. We like to give charity. That's part of one of our requirements as a Christian. So, moral principles. Freemasons focus on moral principles, and personal development is seen as a positive aspect by some Christians. Okay, you got moral principles and personal development. That's cool. Personal experiences. Many Christians who are also Freemasons have found that their faith and membership in the order are not in conflict. They find that, this doesn't conflict with that, maybe until they get into a certain degree and they find out that, there's a light bearer and it's not who they say Christ is. Historical precedents. Many prominent figures in history, including some U.S. founding fathers and Anglicans, Anglicans, have been Christians and Freemasons. So this is in U.S. history. This is the founding fathers, Anglo-Saxons. I guess Anglicans would be Anglo-Saxons, have been both Christians and Freemasons. So Freemasons' emphasis on brotherhood and fellowship. This is focused on brotherhood. Freemasons' emphasis on brotherhood and fellowship is seen as a positive aspect by some Christians. Brotherhood is always good, but if your brotherhood is, under a deceptive practice, and the need for you to be um, secretive about your association, these are, some of the things that you have to stand clear of, So, yeah. So really, this is, should Christians join the Masonic Lodge? Rarely a week goes by when our ministry isn't asked a question about the nature and beliefs of Freemasonry and the Masonic Lodge. The questions that are especially concerning to me are the ones related to followers of Jesus Christ who have erroneously gotten caught up in the Masonic system. For example, one recent questioner wrote in and asked me, Pastor Carlson, I recently found out that the senior pastor of our church is a member of our local Masonic Lodge. I've heard mixed reports about Freemasonry, and I don't know if my pastor's involvement with this group should be of concern to me or not. The answer to this question is simple. Freemasonry is a cult, and followers of Jesus Christ has no business associating with the Masonic Lodge. There you have it. It's a cult, and the followers of Jesus Christ has no business associating with the Masonic Lodge. So, Freemasonry is, as it is known today, was formerly organized in the 18th century in England and Scotland. What originally began as a trade guild for stonemasons gradually evolved into a religious organization that masks its true nature behind a facade of fraternal and charitable activities. So, it masks, So this is how, you would get Christianity as, involved in certain activities that, would give them a bad name. With me, when I told you about, certain actions that was being carried out by, two particular groups, and because of their association with this, it would actually make them appear to be that as well. While Christianity could be, a great thing for a lot of people and might have a different meaning for a lot of people, the infiltration of certain other, people that may have got high up in the ranks of Christianity and began stewardship inside of Christianity, and or shepherd or became shepherds of a flock in Christianity, could be have led astray, and they have twisted the true nature of it, and these are things that if you don't see them, you won't understand how it affects the church itself, but yeah, there's a lot of this inside of the church, and if you're not seeing it or paying attention to it, you would be blind to the fact that you would think that all Christianity is bad, or all Christians are bad because of the actions of a few, by the actions of a few. And the few may be associated with something completely different, as I stated with Roland Martin, with Roland Martin, you would see, you got the finger sign up here, as you can see, the sign, you got the finger sign, and there's, like I said, it's not just that, but here's righteous indignation. Pastor Jamal, you see him right here again. Pastor Jamal Bryant talks. Target fast and attack on him by black MAGA minions. Like he talks about how the MAGA by black mega minions, these are people that are causing, you know, dissension or discord amongst brethren. You understand? These are those people. And what is this dude doing up here? What is Elon issues update on major cleanup of social security. These are wicked people. Wicked people doing wicked things as they have always done for the longest of time. Wicked people. Doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are, what part of the world you live in. Wicked people doing wicked things. Creating, discord. Where's our money? Who's gonna give us who's gonna give you your money? Who's the one that's giving you your money? Who owes you money? Go get it from them. So there's people taking away money, there's people that's demanding their money. So, this is what you would call discord amongst brethren. Then you have others sharing my thoughts on Target boycott, on Roland Martin unfiltered, DC plane crash, Trump blames DEI for tragedy, birthright citizenship, misinformation, Target boycott, blah. Rolling to millennial panelists, your generation needs to stop making excuses. Fight for Black America. Fight for Black America. And you don't fight for Black America. You first and foremost, black alone is part of classifying a people as who they are by color. And you are not who you are by color. You are who you are by your mind. Are you mentally sound as a black person? Are you mentally sound as a white person? If not, then you go over there. Are you mentally sound as a citizen of America? Okay, I'm a citizen of this country. Not because I'm white or I'm black. Then here you have, Target, Tammy harasses black women in Target for talking, but, it's all staged events, bruh. And it's all about causing confusion and stirring the pot, and just to keep things going, just to keep things going, just to keep things going, and it's people with big platforms and that want to keep things going, and have a certain say about certain things, but me, I refuse to just jump on here and Target and DEI, I should, man, we gotta do something about. I refuse to do that, and if that means that, son, you just won't get no views, then you just won't get no support. Who cares? Who cares? But that's just what it is, That's just what it is, That's just what it is, That's just what it is. No. But, like I said, what if Jews is just a cult, a cult of people? Doesn't matter what color you are, it's just a cult that, requires a sign and a symbol, that requires a sign, and requires participation in agendas. Doesn't matter, where you at, what religion you in. You have to be a part of everything in order to bring everything together, for the greater good of your cause. If it's to sway your people into a certain direction, then you have to be in everything, because if this part isn't associated with that, then you just won't, accept what's going on. So we have to get, y'all in the higher positions of this, then, in the higher positions of that, and the higher positions of this, in order for these things to roll out. So, Trump targets South Africa. USA shut down tariff war looms. New DNC chair 40-day target fast. Anti-woke mob attacks Chick-fil-A over DEI job. There's the guys that point with their fingers. And there's a lot of y'all. It's a lot of y'all on YouTube that point with y'all fingers. That think that they can speak on behalf of God and still, be associated with the wicked people that's creating wicked things. Because even with the Black Lives Madison and Fergus, Russian bought ads targeted Black Lives Matters in Ferguson and Baltimore. So any and every one of these events from the past to the current day, they've always been, a part of, just swaying people and creating thought, that's, anti, brotherhood. It's anti-brotherhood, and disruption of civilizations, targeting wealth, the case against federal assistance, and they would have, they would have your own kind being, instrumental in these things. They would have your own kind, being the face of division, your own kind, so you can only, reflect back to slavery and Jim Crow laws and see how deep rooted it's been all the way back then, and how much of it that they played in when it came to the destruction of your people, to the creating of a class of your people, when it, and then once you understand that and once you know it, do you bring these people to justice? Do you allow them to apologize and to really, 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 really give you, your just due for their acts and their crimes against you from all the way back then? Your own people, whether they're Moors, whether they're Freemasons, whether they're the Eastern Stars, whether they're in the Skull and Bone, it doesn't matter what they're in. Do you bring these people to justice and seek for any kind of real reparations, or do you just keep allowing them to keep, shunning the truth and overshadowing the truth and those that want to seek truth for you? That want to seek some sort of reparations and some sort of change for you. Because if the sickness wasn't, if you didn't get sick just by not wearing a coat, but they actually injected something in you and made you sick, do you say, hey bro, y'all made me sick at this point in time, dog, you have to pay for that, because I didn't look to get sick, but y'all made me sick. I wasn't going to get sick unless y'all put something in my drink and made me sick. I wasn't going to get sick unless y'all put something in the air and made me sick. So do you seek any kind of, apology from them, some sort of acknowledgement from them, or do you just keep allowing them to go along with it? And not only that, go along with it, but do you actually keep joining these people, and going against the God ordained world that says, son, you should multiply and be fruitful, and my plans for you is to prosper you, not for you to perish. If you're siding with people that their plan is for you to perish, unless you join them, you won't prosper. Do you continue to join these people, and partake in their wicked schemes, or do you come from out of them? Do you come from out of them? Or do you stay inside of there and start being the change from the inside out? Or do you come from out of there and be the change from outside in? So these are things that you have to ask yourself, especially when it comes to, people knowing, people being their stumbling block. People that they can't get over anything over on. People that will always trip them up. Do you acknowledge these people, or do you keep, undermining these people, do you ask these people like, hey, could you be quiet? What will it take for you to be quiet? Change, real change would take for me to be quiet. You know, other propositions. You can't buy me out. You can't buy me. You can't buy a person like me out. But I have other things that you can probably do. That can help y'all. To right a certain wrong. I got other things, and they're real small. You got the ability to show up at a Masonic funeral. To show up somewhere where there's parading around in Masonic garb, and they say, hey, isn't that Yoshi? You do know who I am. You do know who I am, and you pull out isn't that Yoshi? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And Yoshi means righteous. So, hey, isn't that righteous? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So record me. But, I got other things that, you can do, that it don't even require much. Just, come holler at me. Come holler at me. But do come correct, But do come correct, But that's just some of the things that you have to understand, that our media is overran by Freemasons. All the hate in the world has a source. All the sickness in the world has a source. Disease, the drugs, the crimes, the poverty, everything has a source. And it has a source because it has to keep a certain system going. If there was no problem with DEI, there'd be no news coverage for it. None of this stuff would exist. When you go back to COVID, 4 years ago, none of this stuff would exist. None of this stuff would exist. You know what I mean? And he'll say stuff like, don't blame me, I voted for the black woman. He has a shirt that says that, or a book that says that. Let me see. Let me see if it'll show up. Let me see if it'll show up. Black Men Summit. They don't care nothing about black people. These people are enemies of black people. All this black power stuff, these people have been enemies of the black people. All these people, I don't care who it is. They don't care nothing about black people. They don't. Because they benefit from the destruction of black people. They want to bring forth a new black people. Now, one that is I don't want to say a shoe shuffler, but a shoe shuffler, Uncle Tom, or whatever they want to call them. I don't know. I don't know what they call them, but I know that they don't care nothing about their people, because they would speak out every day. They would be, until they blew in the face about all the destruction that's being caused inside of black community. They would speak about it every single day. It would be a day. It would not be a day to go by without Jermaine Dupri coming online like, bruh, this is again, bruh. Yo, bruh, I cried last week, bruh, for like 3 days straight, man. Why is y'all doing this to me, bruh? Y'all don't know how y'all infecting me, bruh. Y'all don't know how this stuff hurts me, man. It hurts me, bruh. Straighten up and fly right. What do we need to do, bro, in order for y'all to change? What y'all want us to come out? What do y'all want? Y'all want us to go and drop 50K off on y'all this week, bro? And a month from now, if y'all keep y'all nose clean, y'all want to come and drop 100K off. What do y'all want us to do, bro? What do y'all want us to do in these communities, bro, for y'all to stop this crime and this violence against each other? What do we have to do to stop y'all from killing each other? D.L. Hughley and all these other people, that black people, and none of these people don't care nothing about their people, bruh. They don't care nothing about the black male leaders to Biden. You will lose the election if you don't pick a black woman for VP. Ain't no black leaders. These are all sellouts, and they've been sellouts for the longest. Been sellouts. They've been sold their people out. Because they joined cults, and they took an oath to sell their people out. But this is just, man, I felt like discussing that, because like I said, I was just, going to sleep, and then this guy shows up on my iPad talking about how to I'm not accepting that call. How to go about boycotting. Son, how long y'all been boycotting for? And what kind of change that brought about? With Martin Luther King and with all these people, it was all still the same exact thing. All Freemasonry, all Freemasons. But yeah, I just felt like sharing that, because it needed to be shared. It does need to be shared, Because these people you don't get away with anything, man. Because some of us are stumbling blocks for y'all. And if you do want to overcome these people, y'all know what y'all got to do to them. Which come along with consequences and repercussions. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it on that note. But peace.